Okay, so to make the dough, we're gonna start out with the dough mix. Open this up. It's really easy. I'll make a little cut there. So inside the dough mix, the yeast should be in here hiding somewhere. So when you dump the dough mix out into the bowl, there should be a packet of yeast. Let me get rid of this bag. Okay, so here's the yeast. Right in the dough mix, we're gonna put the yeast in the mix, just like this. Okay. We're gonna give this a dry mix. So in this application, we're using a KitchenAid mixer with a dough hook attachment. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer or any mixer that will mix dough, I will be doing a video on that. But for now, we're gonna use the recipe which uses a mixer. That should be good enough. Not too long. You're just incorporating the ingredients. So now we're gonna add, this is 8 tablespoons of sink juice, also known as water. We're gonna dump that in there. 8 tablespoons of beer. Doesn't matter what type of beer you use. I tend to use a light beer, like a lager, but it's up to you. It's all about creativity. 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Okay, so far, we'll go over it again. We added 8 tablespoons of beer, 8 tablespoons of water, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And now that we got this in there, we're gonna give it a start, and we're gonna start the mixing process. Okay, so we've been mixing this dough for about 5 minutes now, and we're gonna kind of take a look at it to see what stage of the mixing process we're at. And I'll take this dough out, and just so you can kind of see where we're at. So if you look at it, you see that it's nice. It's mixed. It's all incorporated. This is kind of a tough dough recipe. So, but as you can see, if you look at it, it's a little rough. When you stretch it, it kind of rips. So that is an indication that the dough needs a little bit more mixing. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna let this go for a little bit more and then check it again. So. Okay, let's give our dough another check. So to see where we are in our mixing process. So right off the back, as you see, it's a little bit more smoother than it was before. The dough itself, that is. You stretch it, and it looks like it has a little bit more stretch in it without ripping. So, but however, it does still rip. So what this tells me is it's almost there, but it's not quite there. And the reason I'm not giving you a specific mixing time is because it's better to know what stage your dough is, because a lot of things depend on whether a dough finishes fast, slow, or what have you. It's room temperature, it's temperature of the dough, it's water content, it's a lot of things. So I figured I'll show you what your dough is supposed to look like when it's finished. So we're gonna put this back on, and we're gonna let it go a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna check it again to see what stage we're at in this dough mixing process. So let me open it up. Okay, so you look at it now. It's been going for about a total of about 20 minutes. It might be less, it might be more for you. However, I'm going to show you the difference in the dough. If you look at it, the dough is really smooth, as you can see. There's no more of those rips in there. If you stretch it, it pans out. You'll see it kind of panning out. You kind of see the light shine through. So at this stage, we're going to take our dough, and I like to use a little olive oil, and we're going to pour a little olive oil in our bowl. This is about a tablespoon or so, not too much. And we're just doing this to keep it from drying out. So, and then we're gonna coat the bowl so it won't stick to the bone. So, we're gonna let that sit in there like this. Don't forget to cover it up. So it's really important to cover it up with some saran wrap or put it inside of a container. For me, I will be putting it inside of a container and letting it chill in my refrigerator until the next day. However, you can let it sit in the bowl, let it proof for about 2 hours, and then when it's double in size, triple in size, then it's ready to be rolled out and start your cinnamon roll. All right, so this is our dough that we had sit for at least 2 hours or overnight in the fridge, and this is what it should look like. You're gonna need for the next step is a rolling pin. This is Big Daddy right here. You don't need one this big, honestly. If you go on the website, scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see I use one of these. So, but for time purposes, I'm gonna use the big boy. So anyway, all right. So. This is our cinnamon sugar blend. We're gonna need this until the end. Oops. We got the melted butter. We're not gonna use this yet. Right now, we're gonna focus on rolling the dough out. So, let me clean my section a little bit. And what I'm gonna start by is I'm gonna put a little flour down on my work surface. If you go on the website, I put a great example of a board you can get from Amazon. It goes over your tile. If you have like granite or tile or something and you want to bake up something that's wooden, there's like this option where you can get like this board that's about that big. You put it on your island and you got all this wooden work area. It's just, I don't know, it's something about having a wooden work area where you're baking. I definitely prefer it. You got less sticking. It's kind of a warm surface. So anyway, I'm done with that rant. So as you see, I'm gonna start off by squaring off our dough. So the reason I do that is like a little template, and it keeps you honest when you're rolling out, because you want to kind of maintain this shape as you go. So I usually start out by turning it because we want to maintain that shape. Turn it again. Square it off of my hands, so I kind of pull it like that. And use your fingers. It's totally cool. It's totally cool to use your fingers and kind of stretch this out. It actually helps. There's nothing wrong with it. This was our first rolling pin with fingers and hands. So, and then I guess maybe rocks. I don't know. What they used back in the day when they first started making bread, but this is the oldest way. It's one of the old way of making food. All you need is, most part, flour, salt, water and oil. You don't even need oil sometimes. Depends on what you make it. All right, so I'll stretch this out like that. That's it. Here we go. That's about good. I get it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get a tape measure and I'm gonna measure how long I rolled mine out to be, just so you can have some idea of the length that we're looking at here. So we're about 17 by 9, roughly 9.5. But that's just an estimate. That's how big this is. Just to give you some idea how much I rolled this up. Our next step is we're gonna pour this butter on top of this dough just like this. And just move it around like this. I like these brushes. These are like these silicone brushes. It's easy to clean. So, yep, that's it. So that's your your other 2 tablespoons of butter. Your first one went inside the actual dough. The second 2 tablespoons will go on top of the dough. It's kind of like, making a pizza, kind of, but with butter. Which sounds disturbing but delicious at the same time. Anyway. So, alright. So I got the cinnamon sugar blend right here. I'm gonna take my pink scissors. I'll cut this. And here, this is it. The cinnamon sugar. We're gonna take it and I'm gonna just sprinkle on top like this. Really simple. This is actually really easy. Like we've streamlined this process to the point where you just mimic what I do. Really. And you will get the best cinnamon rolls you had in your life. So, don't worry about lumps. The cinnamon sugar that I use has a lot of lumps. Also, don't worry about not using all of it in this bag. It's all about preference. I would use at least 90% of it, but I did put a little extra just in case, you wanted to do something else with it, or, you wanted to, I don't know. You spill some, what have you. So that was my mindset behind that. So we'll start at this end. Let's go all the way down. It's really easy. All the way down. Get some of that corner. Go all the way down. Just roll it. There you go. This is our cinnamon roll. All right. Kind of try to shape it out. So, as we end up with right here, my roll after I rolled it up is about 19 inches off this. So I don't want anybody to get hemmed up on like it being perfect. Don't worry about it. Honestly, as long as they're around the same size, you don't want one this big and then have one this big and have that one this big, which is, I know it sounds, like it will happen, but basically you want it to cook even. You have bigger pieces, they're not gonna cook as good as the smaller pieces, but as fast. So you kind of want to keep it even. So the way I keep it even, or try to keep it even, it's not perfect, is I cut right down the middle. So we know we have 2 pieces right here. Now we're trying to get a dozen, right? So I forgot. Bear with me. So we know we had these 6 out of this. So all we have to do is kind of estimate it. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut this one in half. Like, it's not perfect. Mine aren't perfect. But in the same here it is. It's cool to cut it in half. At least you know where your middle spot is. And then from there, you can kind of go right, on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. So you got a dozen right here. So what we're going to do with this dozen is we're going to put it to the side. And remember our pan that we're going to use this pan. You can use whatever pan you want to use, honestly. As a matter of fact, I know they fit really well in this pan. However, you have the option of putting them in this pan, like this, like that. Just, give them a little room in between. Or, let's say you live alone and you don't want to eat a dozen, and you just want to eat, let's say 3. You can take 3. I like to spray my pan. Actually, you know what's even better? If you take melted butter and coat your pan, that's like next level right there, though. Anyway, so we're gonna take 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Guess what happens? You can kind of stagger them a little bit. This is a small pan. You got 3. What you would do the rest of these is freeze them. They're not going to last that long. As they're in the freezer, they should get you a month. But after that, the yeast starts to die, whatever. So yeah, you can put these to the side, put them in the freezer. When you take them out, frozen, put them in a pan, cover them up, let them warm up, let them double in size, and you can have more. So you don't have to make all dozen. So I just wanted to kind of show you that as well. Also, there's another variation that you can do. This is like something creative. You can spray a pan and put them in there. What's wrong with doing that? What's wrong with putting them in there like that? What's wrong with chopping these up in pieces, in 4 pieces, and put them in here? Like, it's all about getting creative with it. So these would probably be really good. I did spray it. This is a non-stick pan. You can use paper cups, like cupcakes. You can make them come out. Maybe I'll do a demo on that later. That'll be a good thing to do a demo on. Okay, this is our cinnamon rolls. And they are double in size. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick these in the oven for about 15 minutes until they start, they get golden brown.